Hello everyone, this is Javamonk, and welcome to the 34th episode of my survival series. So we're gonna begin this episode in this wither skeleton farm that I've been working on and off for I don't know how long now. I think the last time we were here was like episode 27 or something. Been a while. So here I am with all these magma cubes and stuff, placing in a whole bunch of nether brick. Got at least another maybe 2 platforms that I could fit into this to make it the ideal with a skeleton farm. So not too much work left to be done, but there's just one problem. The only way I'm surviving is the fire resistance that I have, thanks to all these blazes and fire and lava right over the edge and more blazes. But unfortunately, that's the last of my fire resistance. So I'm just going to keep that on my hotbar, and I'm thinking we're just going to let this effect run off, and then we can run back to the mansion, and we're going to refuel on some fire resistance. No, we're not going to spend the entire episode here in the nether placing nether brick. We're going to do a fun project. Okay, I only have 1 fire resistance potion left, and I want to make many more. And this 1 brewing stand just isn't going to cut it. When I want my potions, I want them right now, or at least as close as possible to right now. So, to tune into my impatience, I'm going to swamp out that brewing stand with a chest here. And this is going to be where I put stuff that I'm eventually going to bring down to the bulk storage. Ta-da! You just need a sign to be sent to bulk storage. Here we go. So this is where I'm going to put stuff like bones and other things that would go into the bulk storage. I'm eventually going to automate this process. But today is not that day to do it. Today, we're going to build a super brewing system that will produce the amount of potions that I will need and be able to fill up a shulker box at the speed that it will take to brew 1 potion. So that's the hope anyways. And in order to do that, a shulker box takes up 27 items. And each brewing stand can handle 3 potions at once, so I need 9 brewing stands. Which, of course, I don't have the materials to do so. But for now, no, this is not going to be another one of those 30-minute recording sessions. I did that last episode. It was very stressful, and quick update on that. I got this thing working. So, we have the fuel, the input, which is currently smelting loads of sand, and then I just send this hopper minecart on its way to go collect up all the glass that's smelted, and it can smelt up about a stack and 40 items at the speed that it takes to smelt 1 item, which is pretty fast. So over here, this is where I'm going to build the brewing room. So this is another one of those conjoined rooms that I broke apart the wall between them. In fact, over here, right in this corner, I had the evoker that's currently in the doghouse out front. That evoker was trapped in this room for the longest time. So here we are. This is the brewing room. Let's just clear out all these decorations and we can get started. So here's the plan. We're going to have a big selection panel over here to select what potion I want to brew. So I suppose we can just start it off right here. So let's see. We can have a bunch of... It's probably a bad idea to make it go this far. Let's see. So we can... How many ingredients can you actually put into a brewing stand? I'm gonna do some research to find out. Okay, so there's 13 ingredients that you can put into a brewing stand, 14 if you count Dragon's Breath, but I'm not counting Dragon's Breath because there's currently a bug with brewing stands where if you try to brew something with Dragon's Breath, the bottle from the actual breath stays in the stand and it's impossible to get hoppers to remove that. So, we're just not going to brew with Dragon's Breath. That's perfectly fine. So, here's how this is going to work. And yes, I am going to make Netherwort optional, because weakness potions, for some reason, they can't be brewed by just using a fermented spider eye on strength potions. So fermented spider eyes corrupt the effect of a potion. So a splash potion of potion of healing becomes a potion of damage. A potion of regeneration becomes a potion of poison, and vice versa. And a potion of invisibility becomes a potion of... Actually, no. A potion of night vision becomes a potion of invisibility. So, here's how I'm going to select the potions. By just flipping these levers right here. So, I can just go... Let's choose, for example, Netherwort, and I want to make a fire resistance potion that lasts a really long time. So I would do something like this configuration, and it will brew that exact combination of potions. So now all we have to do is we need droppers that will actually provide the items to be brewed. So all the items that need to be brewed will be in these droppers right here. Whoops. I forgot that these things don't place like logs for some reason. Logs are so easy to place in some cases. In other cases it's annoying, but most of the time it's really easy to do. Now over here, I want to make it so that this brewing station will not... It won't do any brewing. Uh-oh. Okay. See what I mean by the fact that... Okay, the first episode, I set up command blocks to make it so that these Endermen can't actually pick up any blocks. And so they're holding invisible blocks in their hands. Unfortunately, it seems that that command block stopped working. I need to look into fixing that. But anyway, what I want to do is make sure that this thing won't brew, or it will stop brewing as soon as any of these droppers of the needed ingredients are missing. So I don't want it to go printing invalid potions or potions that I did not request. So to avoid that, I'm going to put in a safety switch that will essentially stop it from brewing at all if any of these comparators are not malfunctioning. Or actually, maybe I can put up an AND gate so that way it will only brew if I say that I need that ingredient and that ingredient exists and is in the droppers. We'll see how that'll work. And this is why I try to avoid doing redstone on camera in survival and in a confined space without doing any pre-testing in creative mode. Because turns out, in order to fit this one white tileable AND gate that I found, I'm going to need a piston over here. Let me see. You just need to grab a repeater. So I'm just going to move everything back, because in order to fit this mechanism I want, it's going to be looking kind of like this. So the AND gate will only activate if this sort of thing happens. But unfortunately, that means that in order for there to be an output, it basically has to go through this wall. However, since I'm redecorating the wall anyway, I suppose that wouldn't matter much, would it? Would it? Okay, let's test this AND gate. I put one little bit in before I go gathering more repeaters. I want to see if this even works. So let's just put in a random item. Okay, good. I should see an output from this repeater if I chose that I want this ingredient and this items in this dropper, which that is correct. And if there are no more items in this dropper, then the repeater turns off. Beautiful. So this repeater is going to be the key to pretty much the entire system. It's going to make sure that the system will not brew if the necessary ingredients are missing, or if I didn't select them. And it won't care if it won't even bother with checking or dealing with whether or not I have items in these droppers unless I select it. So that's a good start. Let me go craft up some repeaters. Okay, I have all the AND gates in place. So real quick, let's test and make sure that the farthest one works. Make sure the signals extend far enough. So if I selected that and there's items in the dropper, then this repeater turns on. Wonderful. And if I put some other item in, and I also say I want that item, then the repeater still goes on. If I just want an item, but there's nothing coming through, the repeater turns on still. I'm wondering if there is a way to actually make it so that this repeater will turn off if I decide to choose an ingredient that I don't have anything in it. I'm not sure that's possible. Okay. Well, there we go. So now the plan is we gotta actually wire this up to the actual brewing stands. Yes, multiple brewing stands. That will all nine brewing stands to be exact. Will all be working together to produce 27 potions that will all be loaded into a shulker box. That will be unloaded and brought right to my doorstep. Then again, it already is on my doorstep. So here we are. Now that we have the selection panel complete, we can now focus on the nitty-gritty stuff. The stuff that will actually make this mechanism work. So I guess we just gotta, let's first arrange all the hoppers needed. Here we go. Still have loads of hoppers from when I was making the furnace system. So let's say we have a brewing stand. No, not there. What? Supposed to break it with the pickaxe or something? Yeah, you're supposed to break that with the pickaxe. Stupid me. Okay, so what I'm going to have is a system to unload these brewing stands using a hopper minecart system. So just like I have with the furnace smelting array, which by the way, underneath this hopper minecart, I have a hopper that leads down to the first floor, where I can just collect the items from the array. But anyway, here we are. So we're going to have a brewing stand floating above the rails here. Now, brewing stands have 3 inputs, look like. We have to input water bottles. We have to input the blaze powder to actually power the thing, and we got to input the ingredient. So the ingredients need to come in from the top, and the water bottles need to come in from the back. Just like that. And I guess the blaze powder I can just manually put in, because brewing stands don't use all that much. So let's see, there's 5, 6, 7. Oh dear. Okay. I suppose that's fine. I just need to bring in back access in order to be able to actually put in blaze powder into these brewing stands. So let's see, there's 3, there's 4, there's 5. And looks like the minecart track's gonna have to do some curving. Right there. And this can be my access to the back brewing stands. Here we go. Those hoppers are in. And we got those hoppers in. So let's see, there's 6 here, which means there's gonna be, yeah, there's gonna be 3 back here. Or maybe we can just balance it out. Yeah. So that way there's 5 back here. And let's see. Again, let it go under the hoppers because otherwise the hopper minecart's gonna suck in the water bottles that's gonna be coming through these hoppers. And that's not what we want. So here we go. There we go. Pop that rail in. And this rail's got to go around the hoppers here. And to maximize efficiency, let's just do that. Okay, done. Here we go. Now we got to do is just place in these hoppers here. And then place in the top hoppers for the ingredients. Okay. And now all we have to do is just place in a redstone block here and here. Okay. Cool. Done. So now all we gotta do is just place one of these there. And we just need a hopper minecart. I'm sure I got a minecart in here somewhere. Yep. Here we go. This is why general purpose shulker boxes are awesome. There we go. So that's going to be our output collection. And this is going to be powered by a lever. Okay. So we have the input selection. We have the brewing stands. Now all we got to do is connect them. So let's see. First off, we need a system to deposit all the water bottles. So let's just do that real quick. It can start right here. And it can just be a chest minecart. There we go. Whoop. That does not go there. Here we go. Oh dear. That redstone block can't go there. I suppose it can go over here instead. There we go. No big deal. Okay. Here we go. So whatever the chest minecart is just gonna loop around just like so, and then come back, going this way.
Check this minecart into curving. There we go.
Now all we gotta do is just power these rails, and then we can give this a test. So let's see here. Will this thing actually work? And I suppose this could just be powered by a button. Here we go. There's the button. And now I need to craft up a minecart because I used one for this. Alternatively, I can just punch this. There we go. Okay, let's try this. Go, minecart. Okay, it works. Okay, that's pretty sweet. So now what we gotta do is place in the system to actually make this work, and connect that system to this rail system. There we go. What? The redstone block is nowhere near the dropper. That's not good. Does this mean droppers can be bud powered? I mean, I deal with pistons bud powering all the time, but droppers? That is weird. Hang on a minute, I gotta do some testing. It's the weirdest thing. So, pretty much everybody knows about piston quasi-connectivity, where you can do something like this. The piston thinks it's being powered by this redstone block, when in fact it isn't. And however, and in fact, if you update this piston, like so, it thinks it's powered. Except when you remove the redstone block, and you update it, it will realize it's not powered. But only after you update it. I deal with that sort of stuff all the time. Droppers, however, this is new to me. So I know you can do that. So, are you telling me that droppers can be bud powered? It thinks it's powered. Triggered true. It still thinks it's powered. What in the world? So I have to give it an update, and then it will function again. That is the weirdest thing. Why is it that I've never run into that issue before? I guess because I don't work with droppers that much? That is bizarre. Positively strange. Gonna have to rethink this wiring here. Or maybe I could just place the redstone block here. There we go. That is just weird. This is gonna be the true test to see if droppers can in fact be bud powered. They can. Okay. So, the reason that was... Okay, it looks like the rails update the droppers. Well, that's good. The reason that was the test is because the redstone line is diagonal to these droppers. If these were redstone lamps, they wouldn't activate at all, even with the rails on top. But since these droppers can be quasi-connected, just like pistons, holy crud. That means they can be zero-ticked. Right? I think, anyways. I'm aware of the fact that that zero-ticking pistons can be done by making it so the piston realizes it should be updated immediately after it's powered. At least I think that's how that works. I don't really know, but I'm sure Mango's figured this out years ago and's been either combating it or has been zero-ticking droppers this entire time and nobody has realized it. At least I haven't. Wow. This changes a lot. I'm gonna have to rethink this. Believe it or not, in this redstone spaghetti, there is a brewing system somewhere. Just gotta find it. So, let's see if this works. So, let's see here. If I want some item here, and I put, let's say, that many items, it's gonna start spitting out those items until I run out. Okay. So at this point, I ran out of items, but it's still gonna click. There we go. And I should get my 55 dark oak back. So that's the idea. And so now what I want to do is I want to make it so that the netherwood is over here, and basically all the modifiers for the potions go in order that they are being applied, so that I can have a hopper minecart run along here and pick up the items. So let's see. My question is, will this hopper minecart actually pick up the items if I do this? So let's see. I have items in this dropper. I'm gonna break out a little bit of dark oak to mark that. And let's put a few gold blocks in this one, just as example potions. And now let's say, okay, so this is the one. Now, turn that off. And let's say I want this, and I want this. So will it actually pick up the items? Okay, the hopper minecart does seem to be moving. But for some reason, these droppers aren't actually spitting out any items.
Weird. Okay. Let's turn this clicking madness off. Suppose I don't need to make the delay that long. There we go. Okay then. So now all we gotta do is just place that in. We really don't need to be lasting that long. Okay. There we go. And now we can just place a little bit of redstone, and this thing will be pretty much complete. I'm not entirely sure what else to add. I don't think I'm going to be doing a tutorial on this because, well, on the intelligence scale, this system is stupid. So, it's not going to shut off if one of the items are missing. It's only going to shut off if all of the required ingredients are missing at once. Which is a problem for something like a fire resistance potion because I have huge amounts of it. And also, it won't be able to shut off until it runs out of the ingredients. So for those purposes, it's a pretty stupid system, but it'll work. Now all we gotta do now is just place in a hopper minecart here to collect all the potions. Put a chest minecart here to put in all the water bottles. And then I suppose we can just power this thing on and set it to brew up some fire resistance potions and see how it works. What else is there to do? Oops. Oh, let me out. Okay. Plus we actually gotta load in the ingredients. So, still got plenty to do. That's bizarre. If I break this rail, all of a sudden it starts spitting out items. As soon as I place this rail back, it stops. Weird. That is weird. I suppose that's what that means is I'm gonna have to power this rail line independently, which shouldn't be too difficult to do, unless that bud powers the droppers. I sure hope that doesn't. Well, let's see. Let's see if it does. Oh dear. So I suppose we do need something flickering along with these droppers. Perhaps a piston? Let's try that. See if a piston will work. Okay, let's just grab an average Joe piston. Basically anything that will detect updates that happen that quickly. Because I know for sure redstone lamps won't activate that quickly. Oh dear. What would update these droppers? Oh. I know. If we just do that, then these droppers should update automatically. Okay. Why is it doing that? And it's clicking. It's clicking just fine. So why is it doing that? Maybe I could just avoid the problem altogether and place this redstone line where it will directly power the droppers. That should fix the problem. Here we go.
Okay, one last test. I think I have it working. So, here we go. 50 gold blocks. They're being spit out just fine. So now let's test and see if it will actually work. Okay, and we have 50 gold blocks. Perfect. Okay, so now all we have to do is find a way to manually activate this rail line. Or maybe we don't have to. Let's see. If we put a hopper minecart here, it's just going to go around and around like that. You're going to need to manually wire up this hopper minecart. That's fine. Just gotta place this here. And so now we can manually control the minecart track like so. Okay. Let's see here. So what we're gonna need to do, first off, the hopper minecart needs to be back there every time the system starts. And then while the droppers are clicking away, this hopper minecart still needs to be back there. But then once they stop clicking, that's when the hopper minecart needs to jump to action and pick up all of the items that are laying on the ground and distribute it to the brewing stands. So, quite interesting.
This might not work at all, but I'm willing to try. Here we go. This isn't the greatest system in the world, but I think it'll suit my needs. Again, I'm not exactly planning on making a tutorial for this, for that reason, because this is a pretty dumb system. So, here we go. Can't go much further away from this edge here. Here we go. We just need a... I can just do this. No, I can't.
Let's test and see if this works. So, once again, putting in 40 gold blocks. That's not supposed to happen. That's the opposite of what's supposed to happen, I think. Not exactly sure what to do here. Okay, after lots and lots of tweaking and testing and more tweaking and more testing, I have this redstone spaghetti going on here. And now we are ready to test it. So, I have 28 dark oak wood planks here, which I know won't go into a brewing station, but so be it. So it all gets spit out, and then off goes the hopper minecart, and it comes back right to a stop, just as the rails turn off, thanks to this comparator clock working beautifully. And since I have 9 brewing stands in this hopper, I should have 19 items, which I have. The others are in the brewing stands, which shows that the hopper minecart is dividing the items evenly among these brewing stands. So, this is awesome. It means the system is finally working, and although it's not an ideal system, it is much better than sitting there and waiting for potions to brew, and then having to change the ingredients constantly. So, that's how this thing works. Let's now load up the droppers with as many items as we can, and fill in the rest as time goes on. Okay, let's just do a quick brewing session here, because now that we have a super duper brewing system all ready to go, we can just put in the ice right here. and just fill up on glass bottles, and then fill up the minecart chest right here. Here we go. So this is going to be the process if I want to fill in the, or brew up enough potions for a shulker box full. There we go. And then we can just go around. There's 1, there's 2, and a 3. And then we can just split this powder evenly. So 36 divides by 9 evenly. So each of these should get 4 apiece. There we go. Let's see, there's 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Here we go. So this should last plenty long, and besides, I do have a blaze farm, so getting this amount of blaze powder is not very difficult to do. Here we go. Oh, looks like, weird. Looks like the chest minecart missed the bottle. But from where? Oh, that's where. Okay. Here we go. Just gotta fill in the remaining bottles. Then I'm gonna do a last check over to make sure that this thing is ready to roll. Okay? Okay, let's try this. So let's just first put in the nether wart. Here we go. Here comes the hopper minecart. Okay. All of these should now be brewing into awkward potions. So while this is going on, looks like we can say, put in the magma cream. Wow, that's quite the noise. Okay. Now it should all be brewing into actual fire resistance potions. Okay. And finally, the redstone, to actually make it worthwhile to use. Here we go. Very nice. This is so much faster than going through it manually. Okay. Why did that turn into a mundane potion? All the others turned into fire resistance. Why did this one turn into mundane? How bizarre. Is it because the rail is tilted? I sure hope it's not. But anyways, I put in a hopper under here to automatically fill in the firebox, or the shulker box full of fire resistance. So let's just unload this hopper minecart, as well as unload the entire system. That'll take a little bit to do. Okay, I think one last pass will collect the remaining potions, including the mundane ones. Nope, looks like still got another 2. Okie dokie. Let's just get this redstone out of here, because that did not work very well. Okay, let's see if a fire resistance box is full. So when I was cutting through the floor to see where the fire resistance box would end up, turns out it's right next to here. Right here, as a matter of fact. And there's 3 mundane potions. But there we go. this brewed pretty much perfectly, except for those 3 mundane potions. I think it'll work okay. In fact, let me just drink these. Here we go. This can be used for the next batch of whatever potions I decide to make. So, there we go. That's a fire resistance box all filled up nice and quickly. Okay, let's just put this redstone away. And I think that's going to be it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed. So, let me know if you did. And see you next Saturday. Yes, it is now on Saturday. That is confirmed. The videos will come out on Saturday morning. See you then. Bye.